All right, Likutei Moharan Torah Hey. We're in the middle of Sif Gimel, the third paragraph. So, after we've already said that a person should be happy with the mitzvah itself when he's doing the mitzvah, to the point, to the degree that he doesn't need any other payment for it, if he reaches this madrega, he'll be able to tell whether it's before the verdict or after the verdict, so he knows how to daven for it. Now we're talking about how you actually can attain this madrega. So we said the principle is that the simcha is in the heart. Joy is in the heart. Now when the heart is clean and straight, it is naturally filled with simcha when you do the mitzvahs. But when the hearts get twisted, when a person goes after his taivas and after his bad traits, it twists the heart. And what happens is that the heart becomes verstupt, it becomes plotted up.
Like foreskin, the heart, right?
And he says, what is the thing that straightens out the heart? The thing that straightens out the heart is a shock encounter with reality, with true reality, not the assumed reality, contrived reality, but the true reality. This is what the thunders are. And we said the thunders are something that can, the metzias of thunder, such an encounter can be created when a person davens with a lot of koyach and very, very loud. Those words are the thunders that we're talking about. They're able to penetrate this thick layer of, for lack of a better word, unconsciousness. You know, that you're steep in this world and you just don't get it. I mean, you know that basically a person has to live this world after 120 years, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but tachlis, there's a certain thickness, you know, that it's like, you know, get into your thick skull kind of thing. And it's like, you know. So it's this koyach when a person davens very loudly, this makes the thunders. And these are the thunders that actually straighten out the crookedness of one's heart, as we'll see later.
Or in the Pinchas.
Yeah, I know. So it says, because it said in the Zohar, we said in the Zohar, how are thunders being made? When Katkal Nofik Mitra, when the voice comes out from the angels and hits the rain clouds, it says because there are malachim that stems from the Gvura.
Gabriel.
Right. And they correspond to the 6 rings of the neck. If you remember, Torah Gimel said that the neck, there's 6 rings of the neck.
Which is the metat, right? The mouth metat.
We didn't say it's Malach Metat. We didn't say that. Because the Rebbe didn't say it. I don't know. When they connect together, when these malachim that that correspond to the 6 rings of the throat, they give out a voice. And this voice hits the rain clouds. It says the Zohar, Ishtama kol lebraisa, and the voice is being heard to the people of the world. V'dainun rabin, and this constitutes thunder. These are the thunders. So you see that the thunders in the sky that come from the sky, they come through the voice. Same thing is the thunders that are being made through the tefillah are also brought about by voice. It's the voice that you express out with great force. the same kind of bechinot. It needs to be understood. And we said it quite a few times before. An angel is, especially the angels of Olam Asiyah, these are entities that are comprised of a spiritual aspect and a physical aspect. The spiritual aspect is the godly aspect in them. That's the name of Hashem in their name. The physical aspect of angels is of the angels of Olam Asiyah, of the world of doing, is a principle. It's true also of higher malachim as well, but then you're talking about spiritual principles. In Olam Hazeh, in this world, the body of the malachim are natural laws of nature. Like, when there's pressure of magma under the crust of the earth, the pressure grows. It bursts in certain places as volcanoes, right? The magma sprouts out as lava, right? Spills, burns everything, it cools off. Then it becomes the most fertile ground there is, right? It renews the land. The principle behind, the natural laws behind it, behind is the body of the Malach. The spiritual part of it is the name of Hashem. That's the soul of the Malach, of the angel. When Kadosh Baruch Hu sends a Malach to do a shlichus, what he does is he connects the name of the Malach, the name of Hashem, of the Malach, with the principle. And the name, the spiritual aspect of the Malach, puts the physical, quote-unquote, aspect of the Malach into action. Because right now there are no earthquakes right now, right? That's because the name of the Malach, whose body is the physical law that creates earthquakes, is not connected with, they're not connected together. But if they were to be connected, there'd be an earthquake. If the Malach of whose body is the principle behind volcanoes, will be connected with the name of Hashem, it'll come into being. If the Malach the physical aspect of the Malach, the body, quote unquote, of this Malach is the principle behind hurricanes and storm winds, will connect with the name of Hashem, it will become a storm wind. And this is, as we said, as the Rebbe said, that Ruach Sa'or Oisad Voroi, a storm wind does his deed. And the Rebbe says that the Sa'ora is made out of the Ra, bad, that's the name of the body of the Malach, into which puts the name of Aleph Dal Nun Yud, the name Adnos. The gematria of Adnos is 65, right? Mm-hmm. So it's Samech. So you have Samech in the beginning and He at the end, and in the middle is Ra, right? Mm. So when you put the name of Hashem together, connected with the Ra, it becomes Ruach Sa'or. When you connect the name of Hashem and the body of the Malach, and the spirit of the Malach and the body of the Malach together, the principle goes to work. So the same thing is over here. We're talking about the Malachim, that they are the Malachim that produce, that they come from the Gvura, which they are, there are six of them, parallel to the six rings of the throat. And when they come together, there's a completion of the structure. Like, the body and the soul together, the voice hits the rain clouds. And then that sound, is being heard to the people in the world. And these are the Ramim. The same thing happens with you personally. You have the six rings, which correspond to the six malachim, right? Which produce a voice. What needs to happen now for the thunders to be produced is that this voice should hit rain clouds, right? As we'll find now that we also have our own personal rain clouds. Because the main thunders in the sky, and Gvuras, it comes from Gvuras. So you know that above us there is Chesed and Gvura, and the Ramim comes from Gvura. As it is said, "V'ram Gvuroisav mi'izboinam," and the thunder of his might, who would observe. That's why we make a blessing when there's a thunder. This is it, because the inner reason for this bracha is because the thunder themselves, they come from the gvuros, from the mites. The gvuros, and these gvuros are the koyach gvura is the force and the might. Sha'odam moitzi esakol b'koach gadol. The person, gets out the voice with great force, because the same way that the thunders in the sky, they come from Gvuros, the thunders in the tefillah, they also come through might and force. V'akol hazeh, and that voice that you let out, it hits rain clouds. This is the seichel and moichin. That's the moich, that's the brain of a person, which is called rain clouds. Shemisham yodim tipping. From the moich comes drops are dripping from there. It says in the Zohar, Pilchas be'er mayim chem v'nozlim b'levonoim. A well of living water that drip from the levonoim. What is levonoim? Min levuna libuna demoicha. That's the whiteness of the brain. From the whiteness of the brain come down drops to cool the heat of the gvura of the heart. That's why the brain is called rain clouds, because of those drops, these cooling drops that come from above. Then when the voice of the davening, of the mitro, it hits the rain clouds, in other words, in the person's brain, then the voice is being heard, people can hear the voice, and it wakens you to avodas Hashem. In other words, like the thunders that are being heard outside, this voice is being heard to you, to other people and to you. And this is what it says. Kol ramcho bagalgo. It means the voice of your thunder in the wheel, the galgal, in the sphere. And what does it mean? And what is alluded to in this particular pasuk, ki begalgo, in the wheel, in the sphere, hainu begalgalta demoicham. This is in the wheel of the brain. Ultimately, it means, galgalta demoicham. That's the sphere of the brain. the circumference of the brain. And when it hits the circumference of the brain, the voice produces thunder. And then it's being heard to the people outside. And this is how the pasuk can be explained. Kol Ramcho, how does the call become a thunder? Al dei bagalgal, through hitting the galgal, that this sphere, this circumference of the brain. Galgalta also means the totality, the whole thing. That's why the skull that houses the entire brain is called Golgoilis, right? That's the bone around the brain. The difference between the fear that the person hears, that the person feels when he hears a thunder, and the fear that he might feel from a horror movie or any of the things that are scaring a person, is that the horror movie is inside that suspension of disbelief. Let's say that life is for nothing, and you can go to a movie, you can be entertained, and now you go and you go into the movie theater, and you know nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to come out alive. Everything is okay, but you're getting into the make believe world, whatever it is, and then wow, you're scared. All right, but that's not a fear that awakens you. An explosion is the thing that shakes your entire being. When thunders just burst, it shakes your entire being.
It's like gives you the reality check.
Yeah, because it encompasses everything, your entire existence. So when the voice hits the entire being, I usually like to liken it to the effect that a musical instrument has. You know, that you see that the voice, the sound that is produced by a string, it reverberates in the chamber of the instrument, the violin or whatever. That produces the sound. If the string would have been inside, it wouldn't produce the sound. The thing that produces the sound is the totality, the completeness of the body of the instrument. We're talking about, obviously, not an electric instrument. Yeah? You know, it's the totality. If it's broken somewhere, whatever it is, you know, the sound is part of it, right? So this is when a person screams his davening in the top of his lungs, in the top of his koyach, what happens is that it hits, the sound hits his brain. And this has the ability, you know, has the same effect as thunders. Snaps you out of the make-believe world, you know, wake up and smell the roses, you know, smell the coffee, or whatever you want to call it. You know, smell. This is validei shakol, and when the voice in the tefillah hits the brain, and it produces thunder. that what this does, this awakens the heart, as we're going to explain now. This is what is said in Tehillim. Pi yada b'chochmas, v'hogos li b'tvunos. The pasuk says, "My mouth will say wisdoms, words of wisdom, and the thoughts of my heart and the rumination of my heart, comprehensions." That's the pasuk. Pi yada b'chochmas, v'hogos li b'tvunos. And what's learned is as follows: Pi yada b'chochmas, my mouth will say words of wisdom. Haynu adibur hayoytze mipi, the dibur that comes out of my mouth. Pagea b'chochma, it hits the chochma. Haynu begadalta demoich. In other words, this encompasses the totality of the brain, which is because the gagel the chochma. This is where in the gagel the moich of the brain. This is where the chochma is, obviously. And through this, that the voice hits it, and the rumination of my heart, the thoughts of my heart, comprehensions. In other words, that through the fact that the thunder was, generated, the heart awakens. The voice awakens the kavanah. And you can see in Masechus Brochus and the Rosh Rabbeinu over there that when a person davens loudly, the voice awakens him to daven in kavanas alev. That's why when a person davens really loudly, the voice hits in the brain and it produces thunder. And this thunder awakens the heart to daven b'kavanah, to daven properly. That the heart is more the heart, the heart becomes more excited, from the words of the tefillah. And in the Likutei Moharan, the Mea Nachal, and in Sichas Haran, he says that the same way that the voice awakens the kavanah, the holding what you're saying in your mind, not just mentioning the mouth of the word. Also, lehepech, the kavanah awakens the voice. In other words, if you concentrate on saying word for word what the word means, and you connect your mind to the words, really strongly, and you daven b'kavanah, and you're very careful to put your entire heart and your entire machshava in the words of the tefillah, so mimele your voice gets excited to daven loudly. It works both ways. And since the heart, is mechavan the tefillah properly, the heart awakens and being straightened from its twistedness. Because words of tefillah that are being said with great liveliness and excitedness, they put into a person emunah and dveikus, and adhering to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when the heart straightens, when the heart becomes straight, a person is zeicha to simcha. Then he can really do the mitzvahs with complete simcha, because the heart, now is a clean instrument. Imagine you take a violin, you stuff it with cotton wool, you try to play it. Take out the cotton wool, and it's empty, it's straight, then you play it, and then it sounds Atkan for today.